BABYMAMA. This is Fantasia Barrino. She was on what was that show? American Idol, and I think she came in like third or something like that. But she put out a whole bunch of hood booger music back in the day, and whether or not she wants to admit it, she played a role in the poisoning of the culture. All these artists and everybody else like that, they all played their role. But in this instance, like I tend to do, if you talking something real, I'm going to rock with you. Even if I don't agree with certain actions, when the broke clock is right, I will sit there and say the clock is right. So let's get into these comments that she made on the Breakfast Club.
I mean, we need more men to stand up and lead the way. Most women are trying to be the leader. That's why you can't find a man. You can't be the king in the house. Fall back and be the queen and let your man lead the way.
And this is a part of the problem, Miss Baby Mama anthem creator. They sit there and they like most of the chicks, particularly of that generation. I mean, the 90s was wild time, all right? We was all smashing. Deal is that after you have the kids, those standards that are that like women wanna abide by after the kid, it's too late. You already put yourself in a precarious situation, because guess what? It's this thing I used to say to my ex's kid all the time. It's like, you can't miss what you don't know. So don't go smashing or don't go doing drugs, and guess what? You won't miss it. You'll be alright. But another thing that I really tried to instill was that you only get one shot at this life thing. So when you take that, when you make a decision, when you sit there and let like any and everybody use you, like this is something that you're gonna have to rock with and you're gonna have to reconcile with for the rest of your life. And what's happened is you got all these females that sat there, made a very bad call on the first dude that let them get knocked up, that knocked them up. I mean, they weren't ready. It was very young. I mean, trust me, like it really is a cliche at this point, but it's a cliche that's so prominent. So, plus you got the welfare state replacing fathers and the whole nine. So to be like, oh, well, you have to let the man lead. Because no, that's the thing. You all been sitting there pumping into yourselves that, oh, I'm an independent woman. I don't need no man. I gotta lead. Oh, single mothers, we have to be so strong. Being a single mother is the hardest thing in the world. Oh my goodness. And really, nobody told you to become a single mother. All right? I mean, I hate. It's been so many times when I'll run across females, and we're talking about females that was like born in the 80s, so we're talking about the 90s and beyond. So it's not the 70s anymore. Like Maury had been on for a while now, talking about like baby fathers and oh, you are not the father, Jerry Springer. Even before that, with all the different instances of, hey, you sit here and get pregnant, but like they put it right there for you. They put it right there. Hey, you get knocked up by the wrong dude, you gonna have some issues. It's about personal responsibility, which a lot of females didn't want to take. So now you're sitting here talking about, oh yeah, they like they want to be king of the household. They got to be king of the household, because guess what? You sat there. They're not king of the household. The government's king of the household in a lot of situations, or government grants or government programs to help these single mothers who, oh my god, some man did them dirty, as opposed to she knew what she was doing. She knew how she was getting down from the jump. So when the next guy comes along and he like, hey, like he tries to assert, because she already has the kid already has the kid has a father, or the kid doesn't have a father, which is a whole bunch of issues in the meantime, in between time. So yeah they've worked themselves into a very, very precarious situation.
So I salute you for that.
What does that mean? You can't be a leader? Because a lot of women look at it like, no, I could lead in my household. I could do this in my household. What does that mean?
That's not.
So I'm gonna tell you straight up and down. What's that? Timothy 2:12. Women are supposed to are supposed to teach. They're really not supposed to do much outside of breastfeeding, and that's from the Bible. I know not everybody likes the Bible, but hey, oldest book in the world, right? Deal is that when it comes to leadership, it is not it's not innately like I've known women to step up and handle business when business needs to be handled without a single doubt. But when it comes to long-term navigational guidance of a family or mainly a family, that is the male's role. That is the father's role. That's why back in the day, a father would basically betroth his daughter to somebody, because that's how. I mean, I hate that you were property at one point in time throughout the world's history. And so I do not agree with that at all. But what I am saying is that there's a reason that was the case, and it's because you leave women to their own devices, you end up in situations like we got now, where you got all these females, a lot of them think they dudes, or they got knocked up by some dude that everybody told her wasn't going to commit, but hey, she's young, she's in her bad boy phase, and nobody knows our love, oh, we're gonna be different, and you end up like everybody said you were gonna end up. Like, it happens a lot.
Supposed to be, and that's why we bump heads, and I feel like it's a generational thing, and we can go real deep on that, and I don't need to start that, but it's a generational curse.
Oh, well, that's why I'm here. That's why I have the scent stick, because going deep, ladies, it's my thing. Deal is that the welfare state that was put in place back in the 70s and 60s made sure that they got the man out of the house. That, along with the execution of the drug war and no man in the house policies, the purposeful, breaking of economic mobility within urban communities, and leaving, just the scraps of work out there for the males. And then let's not forget the child support that was wrapped up in the crime bill in the 90s. There have been so many different and mechanisms in play to turn urban, quote unquote, black communities into exactly what they've become, and turn the women into the way that they want. Do you think Waiting to Exhale was a big hit because all these women were going through it? Or was it a big hit because it really sold this fantasy, this feminist fantasy that, girl, you can walk away. Angela Bassett lighting old dudes stuff on fire and walking away. Oh my goodness, you are my sister. Yeah. Your sister can't lift their furniture. You can't call your sister to help you move, darling. But I mean, she don't want to go real deep into it. I always will. This has been the setup in America, I want to say, since the Hard Sellers Act, which changed immigration back in the late 60s. And, there were so many riots going on and taking place. They needed a way to break us. And they did. And the crazy part that Fantasia's damn sure not going to admit is that they used the women to do it.
And how society have placed our men. And women have to stand up and be the mother and the father and the provider. And so then now you...
And that's the thing. All of those are impossibilities. Men and women have different brains. We operate on two different planes. And what she's sitting here talking about, like, is that is the poison. That is the same mentality that has poisoned these communities. And trust me, it's not a black thing. Because white folks is on it too. Have you been to trailers? Trust me, they right there standing right alongside us.
But so bad, so you can't be told nothing, that when the right man come, you lose him because you trying to be the man. I was finna say,
right,
man.
Can we be equal?
Oh, of course.
And there's the bullshit. We're not equals, morons. Yeah, Angela, can we be equal? Of course, we're not equals. At all. We are complementary pieces. We are supposed to work together. It's like any team sport. You got your point guard, you got your center, you got your shortstop, you got your pitcher. Everybody has a position to play. But if you sit there and tell either one of these bros play a position, what they going to do? oh no, he didn't. I couldn't. Not ever.
At the end of the day, I'm the neck, my man's the head. So he can't make any moves without his wife. You know what I mean? It all works together.
Actually, darling, you are far more replaceable within the confines of a relationship than you may think, okay? Because deal is, you're all pink on the inside. Any man worth his salt has his purpose. You cannot provide a man his purpose. That's one of the bigger problems, one of the bigger issues that I have with the way my father raised me. Because my father was like, man, if God ever made anything better than a woman, left him to himself, nothing can do for a man quite what a good woman can do. And guess what? That's a line that we're all sold. When in reality, God is what gives a man his purpose. So, or your creator, or just like, your animator. I'm sorry for the atheist in the crowd, but I have hundreds of videos. You should know what I'm about. Deal is that a man's purpose is given to him by God, not particularly the woman. The woman, sweetheart, you are there to make the kids and make sure you don't kill them in the first couple of years. That's your job. Everybody sits there talking about, oh, men just want smart women. No, we don't. We want a woman smart enough to keep the kids alive. That's it.
But you can't be the head of the house. You got to let the man be the head of the house. But it's a generational thing, and it's what we've been taught. To stand up, be strong, be the, you know what I mean? And
who taught you that, Fantasia? Who taught you that? Was it the almost, I can guarantee, damn near entirely female upbringing that you had, from Nana to your aunties and everybody else? Well, all the dudes was getting shuffled off to prison, or just dipping, or being murdered or killed in the streets. I'm saying, like, who propagates that? I'm telling you, it's been a collaborative effort, all right, and it's been a collaborative effort between the state and the women in order to create these matriarchal communities, which are just chaos incarnate.
Come and everything about you is like a man.
Sometimes we have no choice, though.
But that's why,
Angela, I don't want to talk about light-skinned people. But sometimes we have no choice. Sweetheart, there's always a choice. It's what you put yourself into. Because it's one thing, like, as much as I'm more than happy to sit here and give the caveats, as in forced entry and all these other circumstances, it's been far too many times, and it's been the better part of 3 decades, where it's just been like, I'm gonna just have sex with this guy, let him come up inside me, and by the time the baby's born, we ain't even talking. I don't want that man nowhere in this baby's life. So yeah, you do have a choice. You just make the wrong one and you make the dumb ones. And then you have a state that depends on you to make these terrible choices, because, hey, that's how they can sit there and that little baby right there, oh, little nigger baby, get them on up in the prison. Or if it's a girl, hey, have out here in the streets acting like a dude until she get pregnant and can continue the cycle. Wash, rinse, repeat.
Saying it's a generational thing, and that's what society has. They do that on purpose.
Mm. So you think women have to fall back a little for their man? Is that what you think?
You have to learn how to submit. You can still be a queen. Queen plays a part.
Okay, this is a perfect opportunity. Y'all niggas ain't kings and queens, okay? You're not. Fantasia, you're not a queen. They ain't a soul. None of you morons are kings or queens. You know nothing of monarchies or how, regality works. Because I was watching this video today where this guy's like, hey, here's my son, this young king. I have a cousin who, I love him to death, but he sits here and talking about, oh yeah, we got to teach our children how to be kings and queens. I'm like, you don't get how monarchies work. The only reason they're a king or a queen is if they don't have parents, or their parents abdicate thrones, you dipshits. But no, everybody's child is a king or queen. Y'all all court jesters, man. Pawns and court jesters. That's it. Deal with it. Cause you say kings and queens, man. Shut up, stupid.
King needs his queen. Mm-hmm. It's certain things that he can't see that we see.
Some people would say the queen is the most valuable piece on the board.
Come on, anybody?
She's the most malleable piece on the board because of where she can go. You know what I'm saying? Like, because of where you can place her. As far as value goes, no, you gotta get the king. She could still get knocked off. Once you got the king trapped, that's when the game's over. So make no mistake.
play chess?
It is,
Yeah.
You
absolutely.
okay.
'Cause
My
the king
husband's
can't
teaching
move
me
like
how
the
to play
queen
chess. Yeah, I mean, we work together, but the queen has to sit back and allow her king to be the king.
Now, what
And that's the thing. You're not kings and queens. You're pawns on this board. That's it. You're not special. Yet you swear you are. Even Fantasia, she ain't nothing but a hood booger. You saw her almost say, nigga. She ain't nothing but a hood booger herself. They got money. My man Pun said it best, man. And my wealth is with her pain with Haven. Oh my goodness, I can't remember the rest of it. It's called Punish Me. The song's called Punish Me. Check out Big Capital Punishment, Big Pun's first album. Seriously, one of the best first albums you could ever hear. That shit is raw. I was listening to it the other day. It's really good, and I'm getting off topic. Deal with Fantasia is that, I mean, after the first kid is done, there is no submission because you basically out here on your own. Because once females, and this is I guess even though I don't really check my analytics like that, but the deal is that the younger the female is when I will have you, and the younger she is when she becomes a mother, guess what? You open yourself up to the world. Plain and simple. Because hey, the proof, you got the receipts that you smash. So you mean to tell me that dude that you talk mad shit about can get some cut, but I can't get no cut, even though I am clearly the superior dude simply because I'm here after the first baby. And the cycle continues. So, with that being said, man, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, yeah, go ahead, do that too. I ain't scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring, and YouTube and BitChute and the like, they don't like me. I don't know why. I consider myself a rather charming individual. And speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments, man? I mean, is there any hope for, like after the first baby? Is there any hope? Because I say no. I vote no. After you have that first kid, you let it's basically out there like, yo, you put out. Like, you can't sit here and act like I'm special. Nah, fam. It don't work like that. Because you let that other dude be all special, and I'm not special enough to get no butt. Like, come on, yo. Like, you work yourself into these positions, and then you're like, oh my goodness, I'm such a victim. I don't see it. I really don't. So, I mean, but if you do, that's what my comment section is for now, ain't it? So, until the next one, guys, later.